best morning. Today is day 19 of my 29-day challenge. So I got 10 days left. It's Saturday, April 22nd, and I am still in Austin, Texas. Today's day is called Listen to the Lyrics, which is funny because when I opened the book, I had Pandora playing, and it had a song by Matisyahu, One Day. So I'm gonna include the lyrics in the description of this video, and they really hit home. And I like when the universe makes connections like that. So like I'm reading something and then I'm hearing something on the same topic. So the book literally says, listen to the lyrics. And I was like, it's a good song. Let me actually listen to the lyrics. And, it talks about one day, all my life I've been waiting for this. I've been praying. I know someday I'll turn around because all my life I've been waiting. Thank God I'm breathing. And then I pray, don't take me soon because I'm here for a reason. So although the song's not exactly on point because he talks about war and saving the world, peace, but the sentiment is the same. I've been put here for a reason. And I'm putting myself out there. I'm trying to help you guys, but going through personal development and challenging yourself, you're growing as an individual. So it's beneficial to you guys and to me. So I'm going through the process. Like I said, I'll always be a student of personal development, but I'm also becoming a teacher of it. So today, David Nurse talks about how he's sitting in the car with Jeremy Lin, basketball player, that's his friend, and Jeremy's listening to Justin Bieber. And David's like, really, you listen to Bieber? And Jeremy Lin is like, listen to the lyrics. It's a cry for help, for joy and peace, because he grows to fame too quickly, and he succumbed to the expectations that were placed on him. And so David Nurse ponders this question. He says, what was the best class in elementary school? And most people, it was recess. Now, I loved my recess. I still remember elementary school recess. Like I used to look forward to it each day to go out there and play in the yard. And he says we were free, we could play, we could imagine, we could escape our identities and allow ourselves to be bad at something that we wanted to try. And so he switches over to where he talks about Brook Lopez, which is a big man in the NBA. Personally, I don't know, I've never heard of him. I don't know that many players, but he defied the expectations of what a big man was supposed to be, because he didn't do as well as the big man. But then as the league changed and there was a bigger focus on three-point shooting, he became one of the best three-point shooters in the league, and he's over 7 feet tall. So you can imagine he's almost as tall as the hoop, and then he's shooting from 30 feet away. So it's pretty crazy. But he was never really into the games. He was kind of like, he wasn't like what you would expect from a basketball player. And so one day they were in town, they lost, and the next morning David gets a text from Brooke like, hey, let's go to Disneyland. All right, so they go to Disneyland, they're hanging out, they're going on rides, and Brooke's just like having the time of his life. And that's where David realizes that that's where he has the fun. It's like recess, he gets to be a kid again. And I know that because I go karting, I do skiing, I do stuff, and it's so much fun. You gotta get out there and have fun again, like just recess. And so Brooke brings in his Star Wars collection, like figures, into the locker room. So he's doing things that are, considered like nerdy or weird, but he's comfortable, and that's what's making him happy. And then after some game with the Lakers, everybody was out on one side of the court, trying to get the autograph by Kobe. And Brooke was in the locker room talking to some old lady reporter about anime, which is like the animated, Japanese like cartoons. And so David explains that how many times you meet somebody, they ask, well, what do you do? Or you right away tell them what you do. And so we are not our career. Our identity is not what we do for a job. You're not what your job is or what people expect you to be at that job. So sometimes like people expect accountants to be a certain way, or they expect lawyers to be a certain way, or they expect contractors to be a certain way, right? Contractors, dirty. Lawyers, dishonest. Accountants, nerds. But that's not true. Those are just these artificial labels that society has placed in kind of like stereotypes. But you are not that. So I'm a contractor. I'm also a lawyer. But that's not my identity. My identity is I'm a cool guy. I like having fun. I like connecting with people. I like listening to other people's stories. And so he explains that free yourself from the self-created identity that you think you have to live up to and choose to be fully you. And the mindset pivot is imagination over identity. So yesterday I was at the Growth Day conference and they talked about this as well. Jamie, I forget her name, Jamie something, but she started IT Cosmetics. She sold it for $1.2 billion. I mean, serious. So she explained that you have to be your authentic self. Authenticity does not guarantee success, but in authenticity, if you're not yourself, you're guaranteed to fail. That's for sure. But if you're yourself, you have a chance of succeeding. So you gotta be yourself. So part of this thing, me doing these videos, me being out here in Austin, is I'm finding my true calling. I'm still a contractor. I'm still a lawyer. That doesn't stop. But now I'm really understanding that I want to follow my calling, my passion. This is my passion. I like talking about this stuff. I like helping people. But this is not gonna be my identity that I'm just this. No, I'm just a fun-loving person. I like to hang out. I like to have a good time. I like to go on adventures. I like playing sports. I like going to do things that I've never done as a kid and taking my kids to do those things. I'm just a lover of life. And yeah, I gotta work and I gotta do things to make money so I can live. But if I had a choice of not working at all, I don't know if I'd probably do nothing, because you want to stay engaged. You want to feel useful in this life. You want to feel like you're giving service to society. So it's not about money. It's about having a purpose, having a reason. So my reason for living is my kids, my family, to share my gifts with the world, to understand that I was given a gift to communicate. I was given a gift to be good with words. I went to school. I was trained as a lawyer, and I'm like, I've learned a lot of personal development stuff, and I've applied it to my life, and it's really changed my life. And now it's my turn to take that information and what I learned and try to help other people. And it's not about money necessarily. It's about doing something that makes me happy. When's the last time you've done something? And I ask people this all the time, like recently, because this is how it feels. When's the last time that you had a conversation or you were doing something and so engrossed and so into that task that you lost track of time? And when the time came for you to have to stop because of other obligations like appointments or phone calls, or you had to stop, you had to go to work, that you were upset that you couldn't continue to do that thing. So what was it? Drop it in the comments. Tell me, what was it? For me, it's writing. When I'm in that zone and I'm writing, it's bliss. For some people, writing is like pulling hair out of their head. I can't do that anymore. I got no more hair. But that's what it feels like for some people. For me, writing is absolutely amazing. Some days it just doesn't go. I feel frustrated, but most of the times I get in that zone and I just love it. Like right here on this video, talking to you. I love this. I could keep going forever, but it would be boring, right? And I can't, I just don't want to bore you guys. But that's the point, is find your passion. Find what makes you happy and do that. Today's Blueprint Challenge is the Blueprint Action Plan. He's got a picture of a closet. I'll show you the book. He's got a picture of a closet. And he wants you to fill in the closet with the quirky things about you that make you different than everybody else. So he included his UGG boots because they make him comfortable, super peaceful state of mind. And since he's a go-getter, he doesn't really want to be seen in Uggs because it's kind of like counter to what he's trying to accomplish, be this high performance go-getter. But he's like, but they're very comfortable, and it sounds silly, but it was honestly not something he wanted to show everyone. But he did it, and he got compliments, and basically he's like, write down what you like about your hidden pleasure and why you've been afraid to show that side of yourself to the world. Now I'm trying to think about what I have, my hidden pleasures, and if I should bring that to the world and tell people. And basically it goes to along with what Jeremy Lin, the lady that I saw yesterday at the conference, said, that most people are hiding in plain sight. Let me repeat that. Most people are hiding in plain sight. So they go through life and they're not their true selves. They put on a mask to the world of who they think the world wants to see. And so they conform to the expectations, but they're not their true selves. So what happens is you go through life unhappy because you're never your true self. You're never gonna follow your dreams and do what truly makes you happy if you're not being you. So I love sweats. Maybe that's one of the things I have to write down, is I love being in sweatpants. Sweatpants, hoodies, flip-flops, sneakers, and that doesn't really look like a go-getter. And sometimes when I come to my contracting site and I don't necessarily need to swing the hammer, I usually try to look like this: button-down shirt, jeans, maybe my work hoodie. But if I have like downtime or I'm just not feeling like it, you will catch me in sweatpants. And it's not that I'm not gonna be productive. I'll be super productive. I don't look like it. I look like I'm just lounging around like a bum, but that's my most best uniform, like my best gear. Sweatpants, t-shirt, flip-flops or sneakers. I hate shaving. So I just hate it. I don't like the process of shaving. So, but when I come out into the world, I would just not shave sometimes. And now I can't be that guy. I can't hide behind my facial hair. I need to put myself out there and always be on point, ready to deliver. So I gotta stay shaved. So maybe that's another thing that I was hiding in plain sight, kind of like hiding behind my stubble. And I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm gonna make sure that whenever I'm out in public, I look polished. So I'm gonna shave more. And the sweatpants, listen, why not wear them more often? Because that's just who I am. Why hide from being who I am? That's my true self, and let people know. What else? Maybe Uggs. I like Uggs too. I didn't like them at first, but really my wife got me a few pairs. I got like slipper Uggs, I got boot Uggs, and they're so comfortable. They're so warm. But when I wear them, I feel less productive in society's eyes because I'm in sweatpants. But it does matter. It does matter when you dress like $1 million, you feel like $1 million. So I wouldn't go into the business world, or I wouldn't go do certain things dressed in sweats. Like I wouldn't go to this conference in sweatpants and a t-shirt. There were other people there in gym gear. I just wouldn't go there that way because I'm gonna be meeting my idols. I'm gonna be meeting important people. I'd like to feel good, and I'm gonna feel better and more confident if I'm dressed better and I'm dressed in a more confident way. So I know that when I was a lawyer, I would be out, let's say, in a suit. And there's a difference with the way people acknowledge me. If I went to Home Depot in a suit, people look at me like, whoa, with reverence and respect. I walk in with sweatpants, Uggs, I look like a bum. Be exactly the same shaved, everything. But there was times where I was wearing a suit and then I switched over into sweatpants or to jeans and a shirt. And society will treat me differently based on what I'm wearing. And so you try to be your true self, but at the end of the day, if you're trying to build relationships and work with people, well, then you need to come correct. And so I come to the correct settings with the correct clothing on. Like I'm going to the conference, with a button-down shirt. I'm not gonna walk in there in my gym clothes like some of these other people. I don't understand that. You're at growth day, you're working towards personal development, and 60% of the people in that room raised their hands. They did not have a morning ritual. When we left the room, how many people left garbage on the floor? Empty cups, bottles. How are you growing as an individual if you can't clean up your own mess? So if you see behind me, see my bed? I'm in a hotel. What did I do? I made my bed. I don't have to. I'm in a hotel, right? Someone's gonna make it. And when I come back, it's gonna be made better. They're gonna tuck it in. I don't do the whole tuck in, but I make it nice because that's the first task of the day. And so I'm building up momentum. I've already accomplished one thing and it looks good. It keeps my mind sane because I have order. You don't want chaos. That's how you stay in the game and you stay focused on your habits. That's a habit. No matter where I am, first thing I do is I make my bed. And I teach my kids to do the exact same thing. So there's a book out there by a Navy Admiral, I believe, that's called Make Your Bed. And he did a keynote speech at I think a university graduation class. And he talked about that. And then he made that speech into a book. So go out there and read the book if you haven't, but it's so important to make your bed. So if you're trying to grow as an individual, you gotta grow. You have to work on yourself. You have to do the things that you know you should do. One is make your bed. Two is clean up after yourself. Be organized. Write stuff down. Have goals. And if I'm going to a conference, I'm going to dress nicely. I'm not gonna walk in gym gear. Not gonna walk in with flip-flops. So each day I've been there, I've had a nice shirt on. Every day I had a shirt on. And that's my uniform. And when I fly out, I'm gonna put my sweats back on because that's it, that's my downtime. And I'll write and I'll be doing videos and I'll still be productive. I'll be reading, I'm gonna be working on my stuff, creating content, but I'll be back in my sweats again. In my most comfortable kind of that's where I thrive. I like to be in sweats. My two sons, they love sweats, they hate jeans. But when we go out somewhere, we're not wearing sweatpants. It's not just because of what society expects, it's because it's what I expect. I expect to dress properly for the right occasion. There's a reason you wear a tuxedo when you go into a wedding. There's a reason why you wear a tank top, when you're going to play basketball. You don't wear a sweater. You're not gonna wear your boots on the basketball court. It's like a uniform. So you have to wear the appropriate thing in the appropriate setting. All right, guys, thank you for listening. That was a lot. I appreciate it. See you tomorrow.